Good day, everyone. Good day. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing today? Thank you all. Thank you all for joining me today. This beautiful day today. God bless everyone. God bless everyone. Hope everyone is doing fine. There's just a few things I wanted to share today. It's been a while since I've done a live show, and I just wanted to talk to talk to you today because you never know who you're going to meet, who God is going to send your way to meet, and share information with, because you know in life you never know where you're going to get your next blessings from or your next lesson from, but you will receive one, and you will be giving out one also, to someone, because it ain't only about you. It ain't only about what you can get from someone. It's what someone can get from you. Because you are, believe it or not, you are in somebody's dreams. You are in somebody's nightmares, and you just don't know who, who in this world that you are connected to, other than your siblings and your family, through bloodline, right? Through bloodline and relations, to relative relationships. But other than that, who are we connected to other than the family, right? We know that we are connected to a higher power, right? We have to be connected to a higher power. We can't be, you know, we're not just running on autopilot, right? We're not just running on autopilot when it comes to a battery source, right? Who's pumping our heart? Where that battery's coming from that's pumping our heart, right? That's keeping our system flowing the way that it flows, right? Your kidney, your liver, your heart, your lungs. Who? Who? Other than God. Who? The only other thing powerful than God, powerful as God, is the devil. So it's either you worshiping one or the other, right? Because you could be thinking you worshiping God sometimes, right? And not knowing, you was fooled and being fooled and deceived. In all reality, you really worshiping God. I mean, the devil, and you didn't even know that. You always thought you was worshiping God, because that's how deceitfulness works. And when it comes to deceitfulness and connivangness and tricknology and all that, there's no one more powerful than the devil himself, believe it or not. I'm telling you because I know because of past experiences that I personally been through, and I can say he has deceived me and fooled me, and it took me to really find out who God was and what was God really about, that I was able to really think and really outweigh myself to say, hmm, the, God wouldn't do that. God wouldn't do this. God don't move like that. God don't move like this. So it took me to do some observation, right? And go through some stuff to figure out and say, nah, this ain't godly like. God don't do stuff like this, right? So, sometimes we really gotta think. We really have to think and make the right moves. Make the right moves because, today I was sitting with someone, taking someone home, right, from recovery. It was, he came to get some treatment in recovery, and he was going home, and he didn't do. Only thing he did was a quick detox, right? That's all, a quick detox, and I'm saying to myself, I said, is this enough for this individual for the stuff that he was messing with, right? Because he liked to deal with opiates. He was an opiate guy, and he was dealing with Roxy's. We know that Roxy is a powerful opiate drug, Roxy's, right? And we know that Roxy's to only do detox and come home and not be on nothing. That's a very, very gambling situation to be playing with yourself, right? When you could be staying and getting some more treatment to really build yourself a really strong individual. But he wanted to get back to his job and everything else, right? So he started smoking cigarettes while he was in there and all that stuff, right? So, he's thinking that he's good because, he works in the food, he's a chef, he works in the food industry, and, just with the motivation of his kids and family, he will be all right. So, who am I to judge and say he won't, right? He won't be. I can't say that because everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's self-will power is different. Everybody's determination is different. Everybody's consistency is different. Everybody's faith is different. Right? So if you say you all right and you got this and you're gonna be clean, I can't say you won't. All I can give you is the information that I heard from you and what I was told. So if you're going to be all right, you're going to be all right. So be it. Okay. I guess we must wait and see. But this individual have shown me some stuff. He has shown me some stuff, right? When it comes to he told me, listen to this good, that we are very powerful individuals, right? Because we can defeat a God, right? You know that the devil is a God. And when we refuse him and rebuke him, right, we are casting the devil away and telling him no and shutting him down, right? That you know how powerful that is to do that to a person that's a God, right? And that it's very powerful, right? That he can control and cause all this chaos and havoc and death, right? All under the name of drugs, right? And when you think about that, just think about it. Think about it like I thought about it. Because you're going to be mind blown when you look at it that way. It's going to be mind blowing how powerful we really are, right? Okay, that's one, right? Another thing to look at. He said, would you give up your wife and kids for $1 million? No. Would you give them up for $5 million? No. Okay. Would you give them up for 500 mil? You say no. Would you give them up for $1 billion? Absolutely not. Oh, okay. Then why would you give them up? Why would you give them up for a 50 bag of hard crack cocaine for a $50 bundle? Why? Why would you give them up for any of that? You know, these are questions that you can tell a person that gets high just to keep them thinking, and knowing that what they talking about is a bunch of bull, because they always say, oh, I want to do this for my kids, or I want to get home to my wife, I want to do this and do that. But next thing you know, you see them back in rehab again, and again, and again, and again. So what that be about? Huh? What that be about? You're not even getting millions. Because if it was like that, you might as well go ahead and give them up for $1 million or whatever money that you think is worth. Because regardless of what, you're gonna give them up. You're gonna give them up. You know, you're gonna give them up. So this is something to really think about. And the way he put it like that, when we were just having a nice conversation throughout this ride, because, you know, I had to tell him my story. I told him my story. And I tell him what I've been through and how remarkable the God that I serve, how remarkable he is, and how much I worship, him, and how much I do as I worship him, because my God is a loving God, and a God that's very merciful and understanding, right? So, being though we was talking about that, the conversation went into a few other things, like my past, right? My present, and eventually what my future will bring, right? Because we cannot rush into stuff. We can't do that. Uh, so this is quite a few things that I picked up from him just through this little transaction of me dropping him off home. And let me tell you, the guy is an Albanian brother, which he's a born Muslim, right? And his father owns a bunch of properties, and his uncles own a bunch of properties, right? Money, properties, money. They got money in that family, and they got old money, right? And it came through the old hustles, right? So now there's a new era, which he told me that be out there stunting, not knowing about how the old generation was and what the old generation had to do. You understand? So now hearing it like this just brings me back to memory lane, you know? He told me a little bit about the real estate game because of his uncle and father, the stuff that they do, the stuff that they did when they first was young, when they first came down to the States, and how they have improvised and did their thing, you know. Like for instance, buying a piece of land just because it's there, right? A piece of land that's just there, knowing that you could make it into a parking lot, right? But being a parking lot, it could be sold, you know? So now you have the parking lot, right? It's not maintenance, it's not maintained, but somebody else has a vision of that spot that you have, and you just bought it, right? And you sitting on it, but now they're offering you quadruple of what you paid, quadruple. You understand? So now by you holding it, and they're offering you that type of money, now you sell it. And just like that, you became a multi-millionaire that just wasted a few $1,000s, right? Now you have a few $100 million because of the stuff that they need that, because the stuff that they're about to put there, they already see the vision of what they gonna make out of. So little things like that makes a big difference of what they're about to do. Big difference, right? So there's a bunch of tricks that he taught me, just through conversation, you know. Like I didn't know how valuable a tree could be. A tree can make a big difference in value of a person's property. A tree, you know. You know, there's homes that have. If you look at a neighborhood that has small trees around the house, in a few years, time, that tree is going to continue to grow. And in front of the house that is at, it's going to look real good, right? But now, if you start planting your own trees at that house and they start growing, the property of the property of that house price starts going up because of the beauty of the trees that surrounded around that house, right? So there's something to look at because everything that you think doesn't matter really does matter, right? But you just never been taught right because of the contact. The contact, you know? But that's just a little spilled milk right there of, of what to expect and what we're going through, you know? There's other stuff that we could look into also. So, I'm trying to get involved in a few things to educate myself so I can further my career and do other things, you know. I would like to get involved in sober living homes, you know. I would like to get involved in sober living homes. I would like to do a few things. I would like to get involved in that, right? And I would like to keep going until it becomes very financially gains are to be gained. You know, I don't just, yes, I want to help people and show people and do right by people, but I also, want to make a certain amount of money so I can keep doing stuff and growing my community and making my community commutable to other people, you know. Absolutely. Yesterday, I think it was the second time that I have gotten to vote. It was me, my lady, my stepdaughter. We all voted. Since I've been out, that was my second time that I went and voted for something. It was a pain in the butt because I had to get back online after I did a few things for the simple fact that they said I was supposed to do it through the mail because of something that I signed or whatever I done. It was supposed to be done through the mail. I didn't know that. So being all I was already there, I had to do the process of some paperwork and just do it. Knock myself off as a relative. Just do it. So I did it, you know. So it was a pain in the butt because as fast as I wanted to be there to be a 1, 2, 3 thing, it took about an hour, a little over an hour. That's what it happened. That's what it took. But she won. The governor of New Jersey is the one that we voted for, and she won. I hope it was all worth it. I hope it really was all worth it. And she's going to do as she say. But we all know that a lot of times she all talk, but we just wanted her to be the better pick before the other. So as long as that was possible, we're okay with that. And who knows? This dude, Shirley probably would have been the better pick. Oh man, I hope that ain't the case. But if it would have been, shame on us. Right? Just like the Trump situation. Same on him. Same on the Trump situation. Right now, I was all the way up North Jersey, Inglewood Cliffs. The guy I was dealing with that I dropped off, his family owns a bunch of restaurants up there. He told me to stop by. So I'm going to have to stop by whenever so, because he said that the food is great. He said the food is great, right? The hospitality, the way the setting is, everything. He said it's going to be wonderful. And then he said the restaurant next to that is a steakhouse, right? That a lot of fancy Koreans go there. So I know my stepdaughter's going to love it there. You know, we're going to have to come out as a family. Because Bergen County is not too lenient, you know. Bergen County, some money got to be waiting. I got to try to find some insurance for my nephew. You know, he's a new driver out here in New Jersey, coming from Puerto Rico, and they're trying to sell him insurance that's very expensive because he's young. He's young, and he hasn't been driving out here long, so they've been trying to gain on him. I gotta try to find some insurance because we really need him to get that car going so he could go do his own thing. It's been drainful coming from work or doing stuff with the other kids, and we gotta do also for him. You know, we take him, we bring him, and take him and bring him and take him and bring him. You know, so we want things to be a little bit more easier for us. You know, because it gets a little too overwhelming, a little too tired at times. So we only want the best for him. It gets a little overwhelming. Right now, I'm coming from Inglewood Cliffs, and I'm going straight down South Jersey. Yesterday, they had me on a bamboozle escapade. I went to one place, waited a half hour, and it was a no-show. It was a no-show. It was a no-show. And then I went to another dude's place and waited for him a half hour. And he had me in the runarounds also. Told me he was coming off a bus and this and that. And I waited a half hour for him and nothing also. So what I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do? Wait? Wait? No, I don't think so. It don't go like that. We gotta keep the vehicle moving, either picking up or dropping off, or go back to the program and go put some work in. You know, so I believe they had to send another driver last night to go pick one of them up today. Yeah, I almost grabbed the van that wasn't even no good. I didn't know. Luckily, he told me to read the board, and it said to not take that vehicle. I would have been all butted up. So what else is going on? What else is going on other than now they're talking about Puerto Rico is on high alert because of the airport situation with all these countries that is trying to come at us. So they gotta protect and guard, and by having Puerto Rico where it's at, they have part of the Navy and other regimes that's in our way. So they don't want nobody to be flying around that area. They don't want no movements. They don't want nothing going on for they could pay attention better and I guess do some things better. They don't want this vision. This vision, they don't want this vision that we got. They got another vision because they have to protect. They have to protect, and the way they protect, they got to guard that part of the water. They got to guard it and protect it. So whatever the man in charge got going on out here in the States, it's getting kind of ugly, man. You know he has Venezuela as an enemy. He has Russia as an enemy. He has China as an enemy. He has all these major people, man. And it's incredible. It's sad because there's going to be people that's not even involved, but because they live there, right? Because they live there and they from there, it could be dangerous. It could be dangerous. I'm just saying, this is stuff that I have seen on Facebook. Not once, but a few times. I've seen it. So what are we gonna do? What can we do? What can we do? We got all these countries mad at us, trying to come at us, and we don't know which way what to come or which way they're going to start and handle first. Other than having spies trying to infiltrate to get us information so we could know the people next moves. It's shot out like that, man. That's how shot out it is and dangerous. But I guess that's why we have Navy SEALs, that's why we have CIA, that's why we have FBI and everything else around. To prevent the crazy stuff from happening. I have a funeral I'm expected to go to soon. Another dead friend of mine, good friend, you know, good brother that I know people looking forward to seeing me come show my respects, and I'm not gonna be able to do it because of the time and the day that it is. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's. I think because I'll be at work. I'll be at work, but that's what I'm gonna do. You know, this guy was so smart. This is out of important conversation, right? Another thing we spoke about was the eggs. Eggs. He said that eggs is a powerful food bracket because eggs is a food source that's really a chicken. It's really like inside of a pregnancy, inside of a pregnancy bag, right? That has all the protein and minerals. They said the egg is so powerful that it can heal you, right? It can heal you, it can cure you, it can do so much things, right? If you take the right dose, the right amount of dose and all that with it, right? And I'm not talking, see, what he mentioned, I was thinking about eggs in general, eggs from the store, eggs. Eggs that you have scrambled eggs with, eggs that whatever, eggs. Toby, no, not those eggs. You want real eggs, real good eggs, you have to go to the farmer's market. The farmer's market. So I thought about that, and I said, I said, what is the difference? He said, the egg in the farmer's market, the color, the inside, the color is different. The taste is different. The potency is different. And he said, that egg is powerful because it is a chicken. It's the inside. It's like it's a whole flesh. It's like it's a person. It is the beginning of a fetus of a chicken. And it's the same thing how, you know, when the baby is first being conceived in in uh, in the pregnancy, the bag where the baby be in the pregnancy, that bag has potential of people use for stem cell research and all that. That because it's so powerful, right? That this country, United States, will not let you sell it, right? Because it's against the law. They want to do that, right? But every other country lets you sell it, donate it, do whatever, right? And people use it. But if you can't use it like that, right? Because we have a certain amount of code of, of what you can buy and what you can't buy, right? They said there's a reason behind that. Because they know that you are able to heal yourself from certain diseases and certain complications just from eating eggs. But now, let them do it. Let them sell it and make money off of it, or let them monopolize off it, or govern off it, or capitalize off it. It's no problem. But the minute you try to do something nice with it, right, and help people and cure people and make a little money off of it, oh man, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it. Yep, you will hear it. Anyway, I'm glad that y'all was able to spend time with me, chill out, hang with me, get a little talk, share a little knowledge. Each one teach one. LWO, Latinos with opinions always, where all opinions count. All opinions is to be opinionated. Holler at me. Leave a comment. Check out my YouTube channel, LWO 1129. Uh, I see you, man. Thank you for hanging out with me. Until next, hit me up. Watch me on my YouTube channel, LWO 1129. On TikTok, LWO Latinos with Opinions. Facebook, same thing. LWO 1129 Latinos with Opinions. I'm all over. Instagram, TikTok, uh, Spotify, Amazon, Podbean, you name it. YouTube, I'm there. I am there. Come and show me some love. Well, this is the conversation between me and my mother. We had very powerful conversations, very powerful. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, I could have had it, privately, but no. I said, let me let it play. Let everyone hear the powerful conversations between me and my mom. You know, sharing knowledge, each one teach one. You know, trying to get to a better place with ourselves, a better version of ourselves.